Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we will be going over a different topic. We will be going over one of the Roman Empire's greatest victories, more specifically the Battle of Saticula, which took place in 343 BC, which was the second battle in a Samnite war fought between the Samnites and the Roman Republic. But before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. According to Livy, the First Samnite War started because the Samnites attacked the Saticini, a tribe living north of Campania. The Campani, led by the city-state of Capua, sent an army to help the Saticini, but were beaten in battle by the Samnites. The Samnites then invaded Campania and won a second battle on the plain near Capua. Facing defeat, the Campani appealed to Rome for aid. The Romans, despite having a treaty with the Samnites, agreed to help and declared war against the Samnites. The two Roman consuls for 343 BC, Marcus Valerius Corvus and Aulus Cornelius Cassus, marched each of their armies against the Samnites. Valerius led his forces into Campania, and Cornelius led his into Samnium, where he camped at Saticula. Livy writes that Cornelius then advanced from Saticula and led his army through a mountain pass which descended into a narrow valley. Unnoticed by the consul, the Samnites had occupied the surrounding heights and were waiting for the Roman army to descend into the valley. When the Romans finally discovered the enemy, it was too late to retreat. P. Decius Mus, a Roman military tribune, observed that the Samnites had failed to occupy a hilltop overlooking the Samnite camp. With the consul's approval, he led a detachment made up of the hostati and principes of one legion to seize the hill. The Samnites didn't discover Decius until he was nearly at the summit, and were then so distracted that they allowed the consul to withdraw the Roman army to more favorable ground. With the escape of the consul, the Samnites focused their attention on Decius and his men. They surrounded the hilltop, but had not yet decided whether to risk an assault when night set in. Surprised that he had not been attacked, Decius sneaked down with his centurions to scout out the Samnite positions. Once back in his camp, Decius silently assembled his men and informed them that he intended to break out at night, silently if they could, by force if they were discovered. Moving in the spaces between the Samnite pickets, the Romans were halfway through when they were discovered. But when Decius and his men let out a battle cry, the awakening Samnites were flung into chaos, and the Romans cut their way through. Next morning, the Roman army celebrated the safe return of Decius and his men. At the urgings of Decius, the consul ordered his army to attack the Samnites. The Samnites were taken wholly unprepared for battle and were scattered and their camp taken. The 30,000 Samnites who had fled into the camp were all killed. After the battle, the consul summoned an army assembly where he presented Decius with a golden chaplet, 100 oxen and 1 white ox with gilded horns. His men each received double rations, 1 ox and 2 tunics. The soldiers then gave Decius 2 grass crowns, the first for saving the whole army and the second for then saving his own men. While thus decorated, Decius sacrificed the white ox to Mars and gave the 100 oxen away to the men who had followed him. The army also contributed a pound of meal and a pint of wine to each of them. This battle is also known from several other ancient authors, though not in the same detail as Livy's account. The battle is mentioned in fragments preserved from Dionysius and Appian's histories. Frontinus in his stratagems lists twice how Decius saved the army of Cornelius Cassus. The anonymous author of the 4th century AD Theodorus Illustribus attributes the acts of Decius to the Battle of Mount Gaurus. Cicero writes in his De Divination that according to the annals, when Decius rushed boldly into battle and was warned to be more cautious, he replied that he had dreamt he would win great fame by dying in the midst of the enemy, foreshadowing his famous later death of the battle of Vesuvius in 340 BC. This detail shows that some material on this battle existed which Livy did not include in his account. And that's it for today. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you're notified when we next upload. See you next time.